Hi, this is Greta Feeney, and today I will use the liquidity preference model and the aggregate demand aggregate supply model to illustrate how contractionary monetary policy affects macroeconomic equilibrium. First, I'm going to draw the aggregate demand aggregate supply model. So I'm going to make my axis right here. I'm going to label the y-axis with P for price, and then the x-axis with Y for output. And then I'm going to draw a downward sloping aggregate demand right here and label that AD. And then a short run aggregate supply that is upward sloping and label that SRAS. And then I'm going to draw a vertical long run aggregate supply to show the overall price level and label that long run aggregate supply. So right here we have our initial equilibrium E1, and that gives us our Y1. Over here is our potential output, so Y star, where the aggregate long run aggregate supply is. And then, don't mind me, I'll turn this back in a second so y'all can see it. I'm going to have my P1 right here. So this is where we start with our aggregate supply aggregate demand model. And next I'm going to move on to the liquidity preference model. So I'm going to draw that right here, set that one up similarly. I have the two axes. I'm going to label this one R for interest rate, and then this one QM for the quantity of money. Now I have a downward sloping liquidity right here for our demand of money, and then the supply of money is vertical in the long run, so I have a vertical supply of money. So next I'm going to be showing with contractionary monetary policy what this would look like. So an example of contractionary monetary policy would be an increase in the discount rate. So if I increase the discount rate, the supply of money is going to decrease. So I'm going to move the supply of money this way and have my new supply of money too. So right here we had our original quantity of money 1 and our original interest rate. And now with this new one, we have a new quantity of money 2. So you had a decrease in this, and then an interest rate 2. So you had an increase in the interest rate and a decrease in the quantity of money. So because of that increase in the interest rate, the consumption in the investment is going to decrease, which would decrease the aggregate demand. So coming back over to here, the aggregate demand is going to decrease. So we'll have a downward shift in the aggregate demand. Have our aggregate demand 2, and this gives us our new E2, which brings our output to the potential output and then decreases the price level. So this is how we show contractionary policy with our aggregate demand aggregate supply model and our liquidity preference model. Thank you.